Hello there, my name is Louis Daigle and I welcome you back to my new vlog on public speaking. Today I want to talk about a topic that most people have difficulty with, and that is how much material, or text really, should I prepare for my coming speech or presentation? I have discovered through my experience of coaching people that came for help to prepare their lectures, presentations, or conferences, that the majority of them had the tendency to write way too much material for the time they were going to speak. And when I say too much material, I mean between 30 and 80% too much material. Now, if you're a regular teacher to that group, you will simply carry the leftover material for the following lecture. And with time, hopefully, you will learn to bring your expectations closer to reality. I've been a teacher myself and guilty of it too, you know. Either out of enthusiasm or insecurity, you want to make sure that you have plenty of material to feed your students with. But when it comes to speeches or presentations where you simply won't get a second chance to present your extra material, it becomes a serious issue. Now, if you add to this the fact that a great way to positively surprise your audience is to use a little less time than what you have been allocated, you will be very careful with the size of your communications. I'm pretty sure you have been part of an audience before where speakers took so long to deliver their message that they lost the audience in the process. You can just sit on those often uncomfortable chairs for so long before feeling pain. Some people might become thirsty or need to go to the restroom because they hadn't planned that you were going to be so long. And that's not even considering the short attention span most people have that will have them wondering about the next day's dentist appointment, the laundry they forgot to do, their grocery list, their kid that needs help preparing the next math exam. In short, their own life, which they care very much about. Other times, you might just be part of a program where other people will be talking too. Now imagine the mess if you're scheduled to speak late in the program and most of the people before you spoke too much for longer than planned. What kind of attention can you expect from this exhausted audience? And believe me, this will happen. Even seasoned politicians have been known to miss repeatedly on being brief and powerful to surprise and please their audience. For example, it is said that Hubert Humphrey, who became Vice President of the United States from 1965 to 1969, if I recall, was one of those politicians who would bore his audiences by being too long. His wife, aware of the fact and wanting to help, told him this funny and brilliant statement: "Hubert, to be immortal, you don't need to be eternal." So whenever you take the stage to speak, keep this in mind. Keep your audience fresh and alert. You should even leave them wishing they had had a little more. This is how you get your audiences eager to listen to your next speech or presentation. So, to help you in planning and writing your speech, you have to first measure the speed at which you normally speak. This speed will be expressed in words per minute. To measure the speed at which you normally speak, you'll have to do this by reading 3 pages from a book and measuring the time it takes with a stopwatch. Now, of course, you will have to count the number of words in those 3 pages. Usually books have around 300 words per page. A few details are worth mentioning here though. One, you should read your text a couple of times before measuring your time. That is because when you give a speech, you usually know your text pretty well. Then, when you feel comfortable with your text, you can measure your time reading it out loud. To help you visualize this process, we will go to the whiteboard. Okay, so let's say you read 900 words in 6 minutes and 55 seconds. To calculate your speed, you will divide the number of words by the number of minutes it took you. Now, 6 minutes is okay, but what are those 55 seconds in terms of minutes? All you have to do is divide 55 seconds by the 60 seconds that are in a minute. It equals 0.92 minutes. So your total time equals 6.92 minutes. And for your speed, all you will do is 900 words divided by 6.92 minutes, and it equals 130 words per minute. Now that you know your average speed, you can plan any future talk with the same speed of 130 words per minute until you change your speaking speed, if or when it happens. Now let's see how you're going to use this. Let's suppose you have a speaking engagement and you are given 15 minutes. You will find the number of words you will need by multiplying your reading speed of 130 words per minute by the time you are given in minutes. So 130 words per minute multiplied by 15 minutes equals 1,950 words, And how many pages is that? Let's suppose you write 300 words per page. 1,950 words divided by 300 words per page will give you 6.5 pages. But we need to take something else into account here. Remember when I said you should always take a little less time than you are given? In your planning, I suggest that you always cut off 10% of the words you just calculated here. In effect, you are cutting 10% of the time you will talk. So 1,950 words minus 195 words equals 1,755 words. And if you are curious about the number of pages, this 1,755 words divided by 300 words per page is, you are now left with a little less than 6 pages. By the way, all text applications will give you the number of words written at the bottom of the page. This is a good reference. You see your progression as you write. So your time was 15 minutes and you're cutting off 1.5 minutes. Your new target time is 13.5 minutes. Now, if you miss your target and take 1 more minute than planned, for some reason, you will still be a little shorter than 15 minutes at 14.5 minutes. You see, by planning your speeches this way, you are showing 2 things. 1, you respect your audience and you respect its time. And 2, you are acting like a professional. As I've said before, many people have the feeling that they need more time to express what they want to communicate. But as we will see in a future vlog, when we will talk about creativity, imposing restrictions upon yourself is conducive to being more creative. And with practice, you will amaze yourself. You will realize that you're not subtracting, you're becoming more powerful, creating more with less. Too many people believe that longer makes you look more knowledgeable, more credible. While reality has it the opposite way. Just remember that great minds are able to express the most complex ideas in the shortest and simplest way. Think of Einstein's equation. E equals mc squared. So short, yet so profound, and expressing a complex reality of the universe in such a short and simple expression. So do yourself a favor, become a concise and brief speaker. You will become famous for it. So if you have any question about this topic, please write them down below. I'll be happy to answer all of your questions. And don't forget to like this video and click the subscribe button to avoid missing any of the coming topics. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.